Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about language skills. So before that you need to understand what is skill. So here skill means if you are able to do something perfect well, that means you are skilled in that. That is your skill. So in the same manner language is also having skills, especially for the educators. Language educators have long used the concepts of four basic language skills. So we're going to talk about the four basic language skills and what are these: listening, speaking, reading, writing. Number one is listening, that is called LSRW. So the four basic skills are related to each other by two parameters. What are those two parameters? Number one is the mode of communication, oral or written. Yes, so mode of communication, while you are communicating to someone, the mode can be oral. You can communicate to that person orally by speaking. And second is the writing. You can communicate to someone by writing also. Second is the direction of communication, receiving or producing the message. Yes, so while communicating to someone, you can receive the message or you can produce a message. It's not necessary that you need to do both things. Now we are going to talk briefly about listening skill. Listening comprehension is a receptive skill in the oral mode. When we speak of listening, what we really mean is listening and understanding what we hear. So, your listening comprehension, listening skill, it is understood receptive. Why receptive? Just because you are receiving something while listening. You are not producing. You are not just reacting to something. You are just hearing with your ears. This is just focusing on your listening skill. So when we speak of listening, what we really mean is listening and understanding what we hear. Yes, when you are listening, you need to pay attention just to understand something, just to comprehend something. Listening situation, there are two kinds of listening situation in which we find ourselves. And what are these two? Number one is interactive and second is non-interactive. So what does it mean here? Interactive means when you are interacting to someone, you are not listening, but you are as well as you are participating in that also. And non-interactive, here you are only listening, you are not responding. Interactive listening situation include face-to-face conversation and telephone calls in which we are alternately listening and speaking, and which we have a chance for ask clarification, repetition or slower speech from our conversation partner. Some non-interactive listening situations are listening to the radio, TV, films, lectures or sermons. In such situation we usually don't have the opportunity to ask for clarification, slower or repetition. Yes, so basically it is related that interactive means where you are having the power, where you can ask question to someone, where you can respond. And non-interactive, you are only a listener, you cannot respond, you cannot ask for clarification, you cannot ask for the repetition. For example, if you are not understanding something, you cannot ask, just repeat it. Okay, but in interactive session, if you are not getting something, you can participate, you can ask for the repetition also. If someone is in a speed, then you can ask for just to slow down. Micro skills, Richard proposes that the following are the micro skills involved in understanding what someone says to us. The listener has to. So the following are the points that the listener need to be understand, and the listener has to pay attention for that. Retain chunks of language in short term memory. Yes, you cannot just retain everything in your mind. So chunks mean you have to retain the information in small pieces. Discriminate among the distinctions sound in the new language. Yes, you need to understand the difference between the sounds, recognize stress and rhythm patterns, tone patterns, intonational contours. So you need to understand everything: what is the pattern, what is the rhythm pattern, what is stress, everything. Recognize reduced forms of words. Yes, you need to understand the reduced forms also. Distinguish word boundaries, recognize typical word order patterns, recognize vocabulary. Yes, you need to understand the vocabulary also. Detect keywords such as those identifying topic and ideas. You need to detect the keywords also just to understand or comprehend the idea. Guess meaning from context. You need to understand the meaning from the context, what it is written, what it is about, recognize grammatical words, classes, yes, grammatically you should be able to understand, recognize basic syntactic patterns, yes, you need to understand the patterns also, recognize cohesive devices, detect sentence constituents such as subject, verb, object, preposition, and the like, yes. So basically you need to understand all these things just to comprehend something. Thank you for this, and in the next session we are going to talk about speaking skill.